line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
The following announcement has been paid for by the NPR.
In a league known for close racing and exciting results, stand one team that is different. One team that has set the bar to average. That team is Mid-Pack Racing. When other teams win on the track, there is one team that wins in the after party. That team is NPR. So tune in Tuesdays, and watch NPR battle for their place on top of the bell curve. NPR, because 10th through 19th has a 1 in it too. NPR.
Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up.
Hi again, everyone, and welcome back here to P10 Racing TV. We're live here tonight at Martinsville Speedway down here in Virginia's landscape of the United States. We're ready to see some action, ready to see some racing, and of all the tracks you wanted to come see some battling on, I don't think you could have found anything better than this. We are here now live at Martinsville Speedway. Hi again, everyone. I am Christian Crusader, joined by my good friend Dustin Sonicker, Sparkalicious. Sparky, as we're getting ready to the gridding order here, we'll just start them up and get them going because we got a lot of drivers to go through. But we'll start them on the pole. They'll be the two drivers that are up front last week. Cale Gale there, and the number 83 is outside. That'll be Craig Zany Fam Jantic, the number 40.
All right, row number 2, we're going to have Grant Enfinger in car number 98, and on to his outside, Robert Loretz in number 34.
Row number 3, it's going to be the Ryan Johnson at 38 is outside. The 15, Jason Taylor.
Row number 4, Daniel Starner in car number 14, and Nathan Meyer in car number 24.
Row 5, we see Kevin Kershaw on the 91 is outside. That's the 18, Jameson Miller.
Row number 6, it's Sheldon Pearson in car number 8, and Richard Fornshell in car number 90.
Row number 7, we're going to see Eli the Wild Child, and the 9 is outside. The number 5, Michael Davis.
Row number 8, we've got one of them NPR boys, John Thacker right there, and James Harris in car number 4.
Row number 9, we're going to see Kyle Holden, the 12 that is outside. 35, that is Tyler Meeks.
Row number 10, we got Stephen Gibson, car number 21, and Sean Boundy in car number 19.
Row number 11 is Brian Rons on the 77 that is outside. The 112, that's Kevin Ward.
Row number 12, Christian Wilcox in car 53, and Stephen Clegg in car 22.
Row number 18, or excuse me, wait, that 13. Row number 13, Rick Sargent in the 27 is outside. That'll be the 2, Russell Full, Bor Kilgore.
Row 14, Austin Hable's going to be there in car 42, and Georgie Young in car 48.
Row number 15 is going to be Car Snyder, and the 88 is outside. That is Stephen Madden, the number 7.
Row 16 is William Mann Jr. in car 29, and Jacob Gibbons in car number 20.
Row number 17, our final stars, Harley Barletta in the 91 with Charles Whitehead in the 51, and then Robert Jalad, the 54, your final starter to round out our field of drivers here tonight. And Sparky, I know you've been waiting for this one all week. We missed you last week, my friend, but thankfully we're back with you here, and you're good to see you're feeling better. Are you ready to see some bumpers put to the test and some drivers' limits pushed to the ends?
Oh yeah, I'm ready to watch here and see some push to the ends and push bumpers and push everything else. Good old short track racing here in Martinsville here tonight.
If you didn't read the title of this one, if short track racing is the backbone of our sport, then I would say Martinsville is the heart of it all. We're ready to go racing here at field, ready to hammer down some of the NASCAR best in the truck series, as well as former Cup Series drivers are now here to play and here to stay as we get ready to send them off out of turn 4 to the green flag. 130 laps to the distance. Here we go.
Mikhail Gale going to send them off here into turn 1 as he's got the pole for this race, and here they go 2 by 2 off turn number 2. Here they come down the back straightaway.
This is going to be just an all-out mess when it comes to drivers trying to fight each other off, trying to find openings as they can. There are going to be a lot of bumpers banged in. There are going to be a lot of drivers trying to hang for the best and hope for the best when they can. So far off to a pretty decent start here, but it's only a matter of time before that impatient level comes to fruition.
Oh, yep, and speaking of, looks like we're going to get our first caution out here. The 2 car seems like he got turned around there.
He got punted more than most kickers can punt with good football in the NFL, and unfortunately the 2 is damaged up, as well as the 48 of George Young, which will lead us into the PTM instant replay. Let's find out what happened here. Looked like maybe a little bit of a situation popping up on through to turn 1. Again, that's just kind of the old mantra of Martinsville. Having a look at it here, the 42 actually gets into the 27, and that gets right into the 2. So the 27 gets sent into the 2, and the 48 and the 51 managing to get off the throttle, and I believe that is Charles Whitehead avoiding that, which is good driving on his end. Good to see him kind of tame it back once in a while, and that was your PTM instant replay there.
All right, and it looks like that Mr. Rick Sargent is going to go to the back of the line there with the NOL penalty. They're going to be kind of strict on these tonight, being that it's a short track. They want to try to limit these cautions as much as possible. So they're going to really be taking a look and see who's going to be put to the back of the problem.
They certainly will indeed here, as we now go ahead and talk with the gentleman that was pretty much an avoidance of that little wreck there, the number 51, Charles Whitehead. Charles, it's been a while since we heard from you here, my friend, but you're managing to avoid trouble early on. What did you see going into that straightaway?
Nothing until I got right there, and I just had to lock down on the brakes.
Well, you locked down the brakes pretty well. I gotta say, how hard is it to make sure you don't lock the brakes up around this track and more or less trying to keep the car under control throughout this event?
Oh, it's pretty hard, especially when there's 4 or 5 cars around you. You just concentrate and try to stay off the cars.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, we'll let you concentrate back on the cars and on the track as we get to you through the race. Good to see you again, my friend.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Charles Whitehead, ladies and gentlemen, number 51, having a little word with us as we get ready to fire him back up here in just a little bit. Darvis trying to get taken care of, trying to get back on the rhythm section here. I'm trying to find one John Thacker here on my end. I can't find that little rat. Where is he at? Oh, wait a minute. There he is. Sparky, I found him.
All right.
I didn't mean to call him a rat, but I'm going to call him that because he keeps hacking my software around here. Decker, how many times do I have to tell you, leave the PR video to you guys and stop trying to overtake VTM Racing TV? How many times do I got to tell you this?
Oh, it was so fun to do it, man. I just have to keep trying.
Well,
I don't know why I do it, because he pulled me in the booth, and then I always get dumped 3 laps later.
Well, okay. Well, you guys heard it first. If he gets dumped, you can blame it on Crusader. Anyway, Thacker, right now, the Keystone Light 56, having a little bit of company being on your own here. Some of your NPR boys getting kind of caught off guard from the wreck there. What's going to take, though, to try to keep NPR in the hunt with these guys?
A miracle. That's hard to pass this track. We'll just try to grind it out and work the old track position game here. And maybe by the end of this, we can all be 10th through 15th or something like that.
We're there. Well, nevertheless, Thacker, appreciate your time here tonight. Best of luck, sir.
I appreciate it.
John Thacker, the number 56 here, having a little word as Sparky, we're ready to get back to the action here.
Yeah, we're going to get right back under green flag. We'll see if they can calm it down here a little bit, see if we get going. Green flag back out, and we're back underway.
They're back underway. All the drivers still coming around off the corners, off the ends here. 35 drivers are locked and loaded with us tonight as we're under caution again. We got trouble down there.
And it looks like we got the 54 car in trouble back there. We'll have to take a look at the PTM instant replay to get a better look at what happened back there.
Well, at least you know you're on the ball when he's talking. When you got Sparky letting you know what we got to do right out of the gate.
I'm my best.
Well, unfortunately, the 54 did not get off the start he was looking for, and then Charles Whitehead was trying to avoid controversy and ends up finding himself in controversy. So I guess my broadcaster, of course, got somebody down there.
Oh, yeah.
Bit of a tough break, though, as we go from our PTM instant replay back to the live feed here. A tough break, unfortunately, though, for that 54 Robert Gillard. Hopefully he'll be able to bring it back to life here, maybe get things dialed in a little bit more. Gonna take a lot of work, though, as he's has to deal with some company here. We'll take it down now, talk with the 3Y Motorsports. This is the Man Beast, William Mann Jr. and Man Beast. Right now, I know you're trying to get that helmet kind of dialed up a little more and get the seatbelt tightened in better. It is Martinsville, after all.
Oh yeah, man. Short tracks, I'll start at the back and work my way up. Usually I avoid all the mess, and got lucky so far. One of them about landed in my lap.
I was about to say, one of them about ended up in your lap, and one of them about made your hood just be crinkled out.
Yeah, I haven't scratched this car yet, so we'll see how it goes.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, good to see the man of maintenance 29 back out on the fight, and good to see you here once again in the booth.
All right, man. I'll see you up there a little bit later. I'll get towards top 10.
All right, best of luck, buddy.
All right, man.
Where we send you back off to, I forget now. 3Y Motorsports?
Yep, 3 wide.
All right. For some reason, Sparky, I always keep forgetting where these guys go, because remember, I never had to deal with them on teams. They were usually just all in one big happy family and just talking with amongst each other. Now they're literally in teams racing around the track, so now it becomes even more of a tricky situation to figure out who is who. Like when I got to bring in the Marauder, James Harris, and see how he's doing down there. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Pretty good. I'd be doing better if we could actually get some racing in.
Well, I mean, it is Martinsville, so I mean, just kind of treat it like you would the Madhouse at what is that? God, now I've lost my mind already.
USA?
No, not USA. It's Sparky, help me out, man. It's a quarter-mile track, Bowman Gray Stadium. That's the track.
There you
Okay,
go.
I got
Just
you.
treat it like Bowman
Yeah,
Gray Stadium.
we butchered our qualifying run, so we had to start mid-pack, and then we can't get a lap of racing in without these cautions coming out. But I got a good feeling if we get some green flag runs going, we'll get up to that top 10 pretty quick.
What would you say is probably the hardest part about trying to get up to the top 10? Is it just trying to find the line, or is it just trying to get out of the way of somebody, or someone out of your way?
Probably a little bit of both, getting people out of my way and worried about getting run over on corner entry because some of these people break really late. So I just kind of hope we get some green flag runs in here and get spread out a little bit, and I'll start picking them off.
For sure there. Appreciate your time, though, here tonight, James.
All right, man, thanks.
The Marauder, James Harris, rocking the number 4 Green Mountain Grills machine as our drivers now lead them back up to the front half. We have Grant Infinger and the number 98 in the proverbial catbird spot, if you will, and the 83 at KO Gale looking to try to keep him away from taking him down here. Keep your eye on that 38 Ryan Johnson. We'll tell you a little bit more about him in just a little bit as we get ready to send it back down to the green flag, back away on the front stretch.
Yep, there we go. Back under green flag conditions again. So we head down into turn 1. Looks like Cale Gale decided to start on the outside this time. Looks like he's going to try to keep that lead going down the back straightaway.
Ryan Johnson on the outside. I was just about talking about him for just a second there. The reason I bring his name up is because he's actually won here on Martinsville Speedway and done pretty good here in that Cup car before. You recall back on the Friday Night Series, the Split Decision Racing League, when they brought the triple threats to Martinsville. That man right there, Ryan Johnson, he was one of, and maybe not the toughest guys to knock off on the list, and he was doing a great job here tonight so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, you know, with all the early cautions and everything like that, it's good to be up front, get that track position. I think that's going to be key as this race goes on.
Key is the thing here, but also finding the line with the best grip is going to be the biggest problem. And really at Martinsville, there's only one line, and that's on the bottom. But what do you do when you can't get to the bottom? You got two options. One, try to hopefully get some kind of run on the outside in the middle. Or, what do we do around here, Sparky?
You give him a good old little tap, tap, tap through on that bumper, send him up the hill and go right on by.
Yes, you got it right around here. You've earned yourself a prize, and no, you're not getting it until the end of this race.
Ah, okay, well, I can wait that long.
For sure there.
Uh-oh, there goes John Decker around.
Okay, well, we know he's going to come after me for that one. At the Keystone Light 56. Hey, easy there, Thacker. Don't try to knock out Whitehead. What did he do to you, sir?
Well, just let him know that it wasn't 3 laps. It was more about like 6 to 10 laps before he had problems this time.
He's not going to care what lap it was. He's going to say he got dumped. We'll look at the P2 replay to figure out what happened exactly.
Absolutely.
All right, so what happened here is, well, yeah, you might as well say he pretty much got the bumper. The 24 just barely caught him as they were coming off out of 3. Looked like Thacker might have just drove it in a little too wide, did not realize where he was at, and yeah, ended up kind of getting everybody into a bit of a mess. Thankfully, though, his car is okay in decent shape, so I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, and probably be better looking than what most of these cars will look like toward the end of the race for sure.
I hope they have a few instant repairs down there. While you figure out we got instant repairs on the tractor for these drivers, why don't we go ahead and talk with some of our other guys here on the chat here as we're about ready to pull in a few more. We're going to go talk down there at Rusty Motorsports. We got Austin Habel now joining me here into the booth real quick here. Austin, do you have a copy, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, so hey man, right now your 42 Toyota Tundra Harris Tools machine trying to stay out of the clutter there, but man, this is a long road to get to the top. What on earth are you thinking?
Well, first off, I gotta not get into any of these wrecks that are happening within like a few laps. But I don't know if I have the speed to get up to the front end, sir.
Well, what does it take to get the speed, you think? Is it just kind of cornering, or is it just trying to make sure the car has some rhythm?
It's more rhythm, but I mean, you gotta keep the tires on it to keep the rhythm.
That's for sure there. Well, nevertheless, though, we do appreciate your time here tonight, Austin, and hopefully you can find the rhythm and find the line, and hopefully it all works out in the end for you and your Rusty boys tonight.
Well, I got 110 laps left.
You got plenty of time, I would say. All right, best of luck, Austin. Rusty Motorsports, ladies and gentlemen, coming on board here tonight, have a word with us. We'll go back up to the front here. I've been trying to avoid the guys up front, unfortunately, because, well, at Martinsville, if you kind of didn't already tell from Thacker earlier, yeah, it was not exactly the most easy way to get around, but thankfully we got guys like the 8 of Sheldon Pearson that always love to have a word with us. Sheldon, you got a copy down there, bud?
I got you, man.
Hey, man, right now the Wiley Strong number 8 Ford Mustang currently up in the top 10, top half here, and I got to ask you, does that a little more nerve-wracking to be up in that spot knowing you're at Martinsville?
Man, I'd rather be up here than in the back, because it seems like that's where they're wrecking.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It seems like they're kind of getting right in the middle now because Thacker unfortunately went around on the same corner you just went by.
Oh, yeah, and he was pretty close to me, huh? This whole track makes me nervous, man. I mean, I was nervous at the start, way more nervous than I'm normally.
Sure that. Well, look at the bright side, though. We're not at the LA Coliseum just yet, so Try to enjoy yourself and have a good time. I know you got a word for the sponsors. Anything there for them real quick?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Champion Power Equipment.
All right, appreciate our time here, Sheldon. We'll see what happens coming to the line.
Alrighty, thanks, man.
Absolutely. Sheldon Pearson, ladies and gentlemen, having a little word with us right now. As Sparky, I think we're ready to get back to the green, aren't we not?
Oh, yes, indeed. Here we go. Green flag back out. Doink, doink, doink. Little doinkage at the start. We've got a little problem there, maybe, maybe not.
Well, it looks like everybody's going to keep it going, and as right now we're going to move the cameras around. Little 3 wide slit in between. Kevin Ward trying to avoid early trouble, trying to avoid the disaster right in front of him. They work their way across the field, down out at 3 and 4. Trouble over the 5. Look out down there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the
Well,
man starter getting caught on that one there. And it looks like Michael Davis just lost it in the corner.
and caution has come out yet again.
When you say again, you trying to make it sound like Chris Jericho all of a sudden, like you're trying to be with him when he was, trying to be his rock star antics.
I guess I got Judas on my mind.
As we go to the PTO instant replay, here's what happened. Number 5, he pretty much got it right out of turn 4, unfortunately. And the same problem we saw earlier with Dacker, you just can't overdrive that corner too much because they will just send you for a loop. But the problem is you're also trying to build a lot of speed through in the run. So really, again, it's that short track mantra, but it's just so difficult to keep it at bay and keep it still. And unfortunately for Davis, they got him good here. As we take a look on his onboard, you can just see he was already losing it. And Dan the Man Starner just kind of caught off guard. Unfortunately, the 14 not catching a break here tonight as we go to our 4th caution of the day.
Yeah, I do believe it's fourth caution of the day. By the way, just to answer your question about the fast repairs, they only have one.
They only got one fast repair?
One fast repair.
Well, they're lucky they get one, to be honest with you. I was kind of surprised they even get one.
Yeah, me too.
Well, they get one, and we get more fun. So let's go ahead and have a word with our boys here and have one more word here with Ryan Johnson. Johnson, we talked earlier about you in this track and the fact that you have some success and some good strength here on this track. Can you talk a little bit about that and the previous history you've had with it?
Yeah, I haven't had a lot of experience here, but I have won a race or two. The Cup cars, they're pretty fun. We're just trying to hang on right now and kind of see what happens once we get some green flag runs going. But so far, it's pretty fun.
So far, indeed. But I gotta ask you, we've seen it here a little bit, though, with the damage and all the craziness that's happening behind you and a little bit in front of you at times. Is there any way maybe you think these guys can slow them down just a little bit and get a bit of a run going for each other?
Honestly, I don't know. We're gonna find out, I think, once we get going a little bit here, and the chaos maybe dies down just a little bit, so we can keep driving.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Ryan, appreciate your time here today, and we'll see what happens with you and the team as we get back to the green.
Thank you, guys.
Ryan Johnson, number 38, having a little word with us. As we're going to go and take it down now with, I can no longer call him the Potato Master, Sparky. I must call him the Potato Prince, Eli the Wild Child. Good to hear from you, sir.
What's going on there, buddy?
Pretty good, my friend. Don't know if I was allowed to call you the Potato Prince or not yet. Am I okay to say the little news, or no?
Oh, yeah, it's public, man. Good to go.
I want to make sure because, ladies and gentlemen, this guy right here is now engaged to a beautiful young woman. So congratulations to the newly engaged. And I am now no longer able to call him the Potato Master. I have to call him the Potato Prince. He will be soon Potato King when he is finally married and all that fun stuff. But what does that mean for you, knowing that you got a loved one now watching you over, really, that has been a big support for you in this crew here tonight?
Oh, it feels good, Good to have someone that supports you in this. Some people call it a video game, some people call it a sim, but you get the drift there. Just good to have someone in your corner to support you doing it.
Yeah, absolutely indeed. Well, nevertheless, Eli, best wishes and luck. Congratulations again, my friend.
Appreciate it.
Eli the Wild Child getting ready to fire him back up as the drivers are ready to do much the same. We'll see how they play it out. We'll see if we can get some green flag racing in here.
All right, here we go. So far, okay through 1 and 2. Gale still showing the way here. Great Enfinger showing in second, and Ryan Johnson right there in third.
Indeed, indeed. Here, right out of the gate here, still side by side. Every driver for themselves. Nobody gonna give an inch just out of the gate just yet. Every driver for themselves here. It's all matter of play and go. Just work where you can and hope for the best. Well, no, more trouble. Looks like Kevin Ward and Gareth Snyder involved, as well as the 27. That's Rick Sargent again. Michael Davis, bad damage on his front end, though.
Yep, just caught the end of that. I just saw the 112 just spinning around on the top. We'll definitely have to look at the replay there and see how much spinning he actually did there.
I think he did a little bit more than he probably should have. Let's see right here with our chopper cam here. You guys will get a good idea what I'm seeing down here. Take a look at this. Now, what's the rule of thumb at short tracks you're not supposed to do? Go 3 wide. What did they do? They went 3 wide, and unfortunately the 42 just barely clips the 112. That was a tough break there for him, but there's not a lot of breathing room, a lot of area to mess around with, and Kevin Ward did not see where that was going and ended up getting him into big trouble and crashing him out. What a tough break for him and that team, man. They were doing so good so far, and then just to have this come up, it's just, that's heart-wrenching, man. That's a gut wrencher, to say the least.
Absolutely, especially when you get yourself up into the field like that, and then now you have to come all the way from the back behind all these other drivers and try to work your way back up.
Certainly indeed here, but nevertheless, drivers still aiming for the best, aiming for what they can do here, as we're going to hopefully talk with some of our other drivers here in a little bit. I think we'll try to bring in Russ the Fullboard Kilgore next up on the list. Try to get a word with him about the earlier troubles there. Russ, you got a copy down there, sir?
I do. How are you?
We're doing pretty good. Now, we did notice that you've left the front end alone and the damage on the rear end, so we're presuming you have not used the instant repair just yet.
I am not going to use it until it starts smoking.
Not gonna start smoking. Well, that's definitely a bold statement there, my friend, but maybe you can give the fans at home a reason why that is in the genuine draft number 2.
Yeah, with this short track, there is no such thing as aerodynamics, and usually when you get some damage, if it's bad, you'll start losing RPM, but the thing's just as fast as it was at the start, so just kind of looks cool now.
Well, the good news is, unlike Matt Kenseth in the 17 when he was doing what he did to Logano, you still at least have the hood on that thing.
Yeah, I don't know for how much longer, though. It's getting pretty rough. Hey, we just keep inching our way up, so we'll hang in there.
Appreciate your time here tonight, Kilgore.
All right, we'll talk to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Russ the Fullboard Kilgore in the number 2, trying to hang with them, as are the other drivers. Race fans, we got to go to a quick commercial break, but when we come back, Cale Gale, Grant Enfinger, and Ryan Johnson are your leaders, but don't count out Janzik, Lawrence, Taylor, Childs, Kevin Kersher, and James Harris with Meyer behind. Anybody's race here tonight. We'll find out who can steal this one when we return. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, here at Martinsville Speedway is brought to you in part by our good friends over at Champion Power Equipment. If you guys need the right tools for the right job, there's only one brand and name you can trust, and that's with the good folks over at Champion Power Equipment. Be sure to check out their social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Follow them up on their social media platforms. Check out their website at championpowerequipment.com to find the next best set of tools and for your piece of equipment for your next projects. And right about now, I think we might need a bit more than just a couple of Champion Power Equipment tools. I think we might need a little bit of the full lowdown there.
Yeah, we might need a couple trailers full races over.
Well, at least 2 at this point. I don't know. I think these champions. I think Champion got them hooked up. I think they'll be all right.
I think it'll be all right too. I do agree.
Here we go, leading him off out of turn 3 and 4. This time by Cale Gale and Grant Enfinger will be your starters. Cale gets the jump, and we're off to the green.
Back to the green again. Here we go. Down into turn 1, off to turn 2, back to the back straightaway. 2 by 2 on back to about 3rd position there.
Now, I got to wonder, though, something here, Dustin. Now, the biggest thing I'm seeing here is they're going in at pretty close pedometers and pretty good speeds. But we said it before, we'll say it again. They want to get a green flag run in, but is it really possible, with how much damage these cars have taken, and can they, drive it without thinking there's only 10 laps to go at a track like this for a good chunk of the run?
I don't know. It is difficult with the amount of cars on here we got. There was 35 drivers that started out. Looks like we got about 34 on track right now, and it's just so hard. Oh, whoa, and we got a car around. That's Kersher. But we stay green.
No, we're not staying green for long, though. Sheldon Pearson crosses around there. Yellow finally out. Garth Snyder caused in this one. Caution is out this time.
Oh, yep, now it comes out.
The 8
Wow.
and the double 8, unfortunately, getting set around not in turn 8, but in turn 1, and that is a definite unfortunate circumstances there, which, as far our agenda and our quote, let's go ahead and take a look at the PT Instant replay and see what transpired here. You saw Kevin Krasher getting loose here. I only saw Sheldon Pearson, so we'll see full replay here and see what we got, but let's take a look at Sheldon's first.
All right.
Came right out. Yeah, it looks like they're all trying to back off from what he saw with Kevin. And unfortunately for Sheldon, he just kind of caught into a bad spot there. So we'll take it down now and see from the 91's perspective what happened with him there. It looked like he might have got himself into a bit of a jam there with the Potato Prince himself. Yeah, everything's pretty clear here out of turn 4. Comes down the front straightaway. Here's where the problems start. Turn 1. Let's see if Childs makes a move. He does. He looks for the opening. He sees an opening, but Kevin kind of blocks him down. Childs backs off, gets everybody squared away, but same can't be said for Garth Snyder and Sheldon Pearson, and that is a tough break for those individuals. But as we've said it before, we'll say it again. It is a contact sport, and it is Martinsville, so expect that every now and then.
I gotta admit, Kevin did a good job of holding on to that car. It was completely sideways, almost like dirt tracking it through the corner, and he got it back straight away, and he was able to continue on. But then there was that accordion effect where all the other drivers got into each other, and it just unfortunate for those guys behind it.
Certainly was indeed, but nevertheless here, as we say here on the channel, all too often the show must go on. So with racing still to be presented here and a lot more battles to be had, we'll take it down now and talk with one of our other drivers we haven't heard from in a while, Christian Wilcox. And
hey, Christian.
Hey, Christian, good to hear from you tonight, buddy. And right now you're driving the Liquid Death Chevrolet 53. I got to ask you tonight, man, with everything that's going down, do you think those aerodynamics of any of these cars even have a chance of really being any of a help here tonight?
I mean, if we can just keep our revs up and we don't lose power, I think your car could miss every fender on there and still be productive.
Well, I mean, as long as it works out okay and works okay for you, let's say that's definitely the mantra of the short track racing, isn't it?
Yeah, that is pretty much. I'm just trying to stay clean back here and make my way through all the muck.
Yeah, let's say a little bit of muck and a little bit more of luck. I gotta say though, real quick, are you? How much difficulty is it really just trying to make sure you stay away from getting into the mess? Is it just kind of come out of nowhere, or do you just watch very, very carefully?
I try to give room and anticipate, and I'm definitely keeping my eyes well off my hood and down track, so try to anticipate everything.
All right, well, appreciate it coming on board here tonight, Wilcox. Thanks for your time, sir.
No problem, thank you.
The number 53 there, Christian Wilcox, trying to get something put together and something put onto the track as we're about ready to go back to the green flag here.
Yes, we are. And I noticed the sun is starting to go down a little bit here. It's a nice little view here. Nice little sunset kind of view here on the cars as we're getting about ready to get back to green here very shortly.
Yeah, it is fading away just a slight bit here, but as the drivers lead them off out of turn 3 and 4, they'll bring it back to the green. Cale Gale once again will have the race lead. And Dustin, you weren't here last week, but Gale, you know, he had a strong showing in a great race there at Sonoma with Jantic, but unfortunately, he ended up kind of getting caught up in, I would say, kind of a turn that's very similar to the corners around here with being around a bit like turn 9, turn 7 with that little sharp angle right-hander. And unfortunately, it ended up spinning him out and caused him to lose his traction and chance of catching Jantic. So far, though, it seems like he's just had this thing dialed in all day long and just kind of making sure that the car is right where it needs to be.
Yeah, his car looks like it's been stout since the get-go. He got the pole here by quite a good, decent margin, a full tenth of a second on the pole here, and he's been out front so far and doesn't look. It almost looks reminiscent of the way he ran at USA. He just kind of stayed out in front and just kind of was the leader of the pack most of the race.
Certainly does indeed. Right now it's a number 2 here, Russell Fullboard Kilgore trying to get right up there with the 12 of Kyle Holden. Holden still battling it out here, and again, you're just seeing that those aerodynamics of the car really do not matter anymore. All that matters is you've got 4 wheels and something called a rig on there.
I haven't talked much about Kyle Holden here tonight. He's the point leader coming in here tonight. Haven't talked much about him. He hasn't been up near the front like he has been the last couple of weeks, so he's just trying to take his time, I think, just trying to get through here and just try to finish this one out.
If you're a point leader, though, going into this race, and you're having to deal with a track like Martinsville, what exactly would you try to even think about to even get around these kind of circumstances, these kind of situations? Because I would think it'd be a little bit more disregarding, knowing that I got to deal with that mess, and I end up having to see caution flag coming out every now and then, as we got another caution out for the number 2, Russ Kilgore.
And it looks like Russ Kilgore in the 2 and the 12 automobile there also went around as well. We'll have to definitely go back and take a look at that and see what happened back there.
We will indeed here. Let's see real quick here from our chopper cam once more. Coming right out down the back straightaway. It looks like Dan the Man Starner, and you just had it, jinx Kyle Holden, didn't you? Unfortunately, Kyle got kind of caught off in there with the 2 getting spun around and actually catches the 12. Thankfully, though, for him, he was able to save and recover very nicely. We'll go on board here with Kilgore and show you what we're talking about. Take a look at it one more time. You can just see the inside line and watch that 12, man. He had to save that thing in a half. He got it to literally just dirt, like you said earlier, dirt track and slide around the corner and brought it back straight as can be. And that just goes to show you the driver's mentality and just how well everybody is when it comes to saving their stuff and saving their cars up when they have to.
Yeah, he did an excellent job of trying to keep that from getting into the wall or coming back across the traffic. Got it back straight and kept on trucking.
Absolutely there. As right now, as we get ready to keep on trucking, I think it's a better time than anything to bring in our good friend, the Zany fam, and that 5G Verizon Wireless number 40 tonight. Now, Janzik, right now, you're pretty much kind of one of the saving graces and hopes for Oval Sim performance. Everybody else has either been in some kind of goulash or some kind of mess here at Martinsville.
Yeah, Nathan's had a tough go at it. Brock is unable to attend the race tonight, so hope he's having a good time seeing some friends and stuff. And I do have Robbie right here behind me, which is nice, having a teammate around here because we got teammates in 1-2 up there. So really hoping for a good team points outcome there. And I just saw Nathan come up on the relative in 7th, so that's really good for our team points because those BSM boys are going to be, they're going to be tough to beat all year long.
Yeah, right now, currently, Myra is in the 7th place spot, and you got your good friend Lawrence right beside you there. But nevertheless here, I'll ask you this real quick. If it had to come down to the wire and you got to push and shove to win, do you take the push and shove or do you just try to run clean on the outside and go for it?
Yeah, I don't know. I would always be the one to try to make it clean first. First clean pass, high priority for me, always. I know I like to be an aggressive driver, so I like to at least pride myself on having that kind of sense. That being said, if we're people we've raced in season long here, then we know we're going to be big threats. Looking at Kale, I'm looking at Grant. Even Ryan has, although he is a newcomer, he really seems to have his knack at short tracks. So, these guys we're going to be dealing with them all season long, and we don't want to make enemies out of them.
Absolutely. Whenever that's chance, we do appreciate your time here tonight, getting your word and info on everything that's going down. We'll see what happens here for you and your crew down there in Oval Sim Performance.
Yep. Thanks for bringing me in. And shout out to everybody watching, and thanks to everything that PTM and Champion Power Equipment do for us.
Thank you for your time there, Janzik.
10-4.
Oval Sim Performance's driver, maybe you would say the leader of the group right now, Craig the Sandy fan Janzik. I say leader because he's the one right now up top with them as they try to knock down those Blackstone Management boys. That's what he referred to when he said BSM earlier on. Kale Gale and Grant Infinger are part of that crew. And they're looking to get a little bit more in there as we go off the green flag back on out.
Yep, here we go. Oh, well, that's not going to take long. There goes 15 around.
Easy, boys. Stop them. Back them down. Back them down. Back up. No. Oh, no. We got our snare crashed in as well. These guys are wrecked in hard. I see Harley Barletta sneaking right behind there as well. Looks like. Yep, there is the Kodak. The sad part is I was watching Harley Barletta practice earlier on, and he had a horrible qualifying time. Unfortunately, it did not really make up for what he did on multiple ends and multiple levels, and that is just a tough break there. We're going to take a look at what happened here to the 15 Jason Taylor before we talk about what happened with the 81 there. But here's what happened transpiring down on the front straightaway. Got a little love tap there from the 91. Looked like maybe Taylor was trying to back her down and a little too much, and it looked like for sure had the wrong idea and thought Well, I'll back her down, but I'm kind of in the mood to go a little harder here to the corner. Now, I'm not really sure where everything went wrong for Harley Barletta, but we're going to take a look at it here as well, because it looked like maybe he might have got a little bit aggressive coming down and around. I think that might have ended up costing him. And indeed, right there, you can see he just kind of catches him on the inside, and they were already braking, and Barletta was trying to get the idiot out of his way. I think he was literally just bulldozing him. Yeah, I'm so far sideways. I would have thought that was a race down here at our old slideways down here in Knoxville, Iowa.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, drivers going to pit road here, so we'll see who decides to pit on in and take the advantage here they can. I don't know necessarily if it's going to be an advantage, because being a little bit of a slower car, I would presume, probably be more of a scarier thought than it would be to actually try to be in the back of the pack, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think the strategy here, though, we're getting close to halfway at this point, and these guys have been out here, the leaders have been out there 60 or so laps on these tires and all that. I think it's probably right about now they just want to get in, get their tires, and get it over with, so that way they don't have to come back to pit road unless they have damage or something.
For sure there, one of them that does have a little bit of damage up that we'll talk with right now is a number 5 there from Alco Hooligan Motorsports. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome number 5, Michael Davis. And Davis, right now, if I ever had to give someone a props for trying to pull a Matt Kenseth scheme off with a Kyle Larson design, I would say I have to give you number 1 for props on that one.
Yeah, it's a rough night.
It's a weapon tonight?
It's a rough night tonight.
Oh, it's a rough night. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're about to say it's been a bit of a kind of a clash, unfortunately for you and that team. And what's been going down, man? Has it just been drivers just kind of getting a little hard on the throttle, or do you feel like it's something else?
I don't know. I mean, I think people just being too aggressive, and we just can't get a long green flag run to get strung out. I messed up earlier, got on the gas, and I stepped on it.
Well, hopefully things can work out a little bit better and maybe get a little bit of a break or two in. Best of luck here as we get ready to get back to the green flag, sir.
Thank you.
From Alco Hooligan Motorsports, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Davis, the number 5, as Steve Gibson will change the leader up and change the spots up a little bit, and this could get a little interesting here, Dustin.
Because him and Tyler Meeks both have not made it to pit road at all, as we're about ready to get back to green flag, so we're going to have to see how them 60-lap old tires do. Here we go.
Here we go indeed. Out of the gate here, he'll have a good start, get a good jump on the boys, but the boys will be trying to get right back up to him. Oh, look out up at the middle pack, up top half. Dan the Man Starner got a piece of the wall. Looked like he caught Kyle Holden and Gale, but Gale and Infinger managed to swing their way around 3 wide down the front straightaway.
Oh my goodness. Oh, this is getting a little hairy for
Oh, no! Kyle Holden's going for a ride. No! Oh my. You could almost sense that was coming. Yeah, I was about to say.
Yep, exactly. I took words right out of my mouth.
I was about to say that one got a little bit hard to watch, unfortunately. It looked like they may have been able to secure the 3 wide going into the corner, but unfortunately Lady Luck said, wait a minute, you guys are going 3 wide at Martinsville? Are you insane? No. I cannot give you that kind of luck around here. Here's what happened. Now Jaythic's in this bottom lane here. Jaythic's backing off. He's giving room. Starner's trying to give room. Kyle's trying to push it. The agenda gets a little bit farther left than I think he was hoping for, and ends up sending him right. And unfortunately, that gets everybody all squared off and crashed out. Unfortunately, Kyle Holden going to be ending up on the proverbial backstage of the train here. I think he might have to go to the back car list here.
Probably more than likely on that. I think at this point, whenever we come to Martinsville and have like a driver's meeting, I think they ought to show the video when Clint Boyer took it 3 wide that one time and did that 3 wide move, just as a kind of like a example of what not to do.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Ryan Newman start that whole mess up there, I thought?
That's true. Yeah, he might have given him a little bump so he didn't have enough time to, react, but,
Yeah, you guys just know. All right. I think we're going to go ahead and talk with some of the high line racing guys right now. I'll go ahead and talk right now with Dan the Man Starner here, one of the other guys we were talking about a minute ago. We'll see his thoughts on this one. Dan, right now, if you got a copy down there, bud, we just want to get your thoughts on what the heck happened going into turn 1.
It started in turn 4 where I pushed a little high and we ended up through it out of the turn and no one gave. But someone drove in under me. I don't know who it was. I think it was a racing deal, but we'll see in a moment.
About to say, I think it was a little bit more of a racing deal than anything. It looked like Holden was kind of trying to get back to the bottom, obviously, because around here there's only one line to hit, and he was pretty much like 2 lanes above it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you got the bird's eye view. I just know that I heard a car inside, car outside, so I tried to hold the middle line, and who knows.
Yeah, it's just Martinsville racing, man. That's all I can really say. But nevertheless, do appreciate you coming on board and giving the fans at home a little idea and thought of what the heck you were seeing down there, bud.
Thank you. Take it easy.
You too. Dan the Man Starner, ladies and gentlemen. Highline Racing giving us a little thought and insight here. Hopefully trying to get back into the fight, back into the sequence of things. We'll go ahead and talk with one of the other guys down there, and Garth Snyder real quick. We got a chance. Garth, you got a copy, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, so right now the 88 Red Bull, maybe a little bit of a lap down or two, but hey, you're still hanging in there, man. What's going on with that one?
I caught a little bit of bad luck there on that last caution, pitted, and went a lap down because we had to wait for pit exit to open. But we're in a good spot to get the lucky dog and try to stay out of the madness, work our way back up.
Well, as we say from the madhouse, you can only expect nothing but the madness. So best wishes and luck as we're getting back to the green flag here, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Garth Snyder, ladies and gentlemen, having a little word with us here from Highline Racing. As drivers get ready to field them back in, we are back already under green.
All right, Steven Gibson in the number 21 out in front, staying high and true with those old tires. Him and Tyler Meeks going to try to hold off those guys with the tires. 3 wide again down the back straightaway.
That right there was Robert the Mullen Man Lawrence, Dan the Man Starner, and James Marauder Harris. This time everybody getting a little bit smart there and trying to make sure that does not happen too often than not. I wish you guys could see right now what we're seeing. Yeah, it's just an absolute clinic of bumping and banging.
Gale. Oh my goodness.
The former NASCAR driver getting cleared out of turn 2. Unfortunately, the 83 spun around, and the Blackstone management crew may be a little bit more in the trouble zone than they realized here, Sparky.
Oh my goodness, yes indeed, because now that spin's going to put him all the way in the back of the field, back in that mess that's been back there all night. So we'll see what he can do, but that's just an unfortunate break there. We'll have to see what happened there.
I'm going to be honest with you. I couldn't tell you that one for the life of me. That looked like Gibson was trying to keep the corner tight, but Gale just got in a bad spot. Thankfully, the car did not take any damage, but I got to believe he is not too happy about that one. We'll take a look at Gibson's onboard camera here. This is a tough one. You guys be the judgment call on this one because it looked like maybe Gale had the clear of the line, but Gibson just barely catches him. Here's the onboard camera. Watch the steering wheel. Well, he still got that thing turning left, so I can tell you right now he was not doing it intentionally. It looked like maybe just a bit of a racing ordeal. Just caught the verb of the track just a little bit enough, and unfortunately for Gale, he gets the worst end of the stick. What a tough break there for the number 83.
Yeah, that could be an instance too. Like we said earlier, Steve Gibson has not been on pit road yet. He's on 73 old tires at this point. So that might have been a thing where them old tires were starting to show up and he didn't quite get the grip in the corner. And unfortunately, Gale was right there and around he went.
The good news is for Gale, though, he's only in 25th, not out of the 35. So he does have a chance to get back up there with the field. He's not going to go a lap down, but Gibson will still be a race leader here. So it's going to be interesting to see what the race officials call later on. But right about now, if anybody that's keeping track of the cautions, keeping track of this, my best wishes and luck to you. I have no idea how the heck you guys are even keeping up with all this.
Yeah, I think we're at 10 cautions now, I do believe. So I think the house wins on this one.
Well, we'll find out later on. But real quick, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break, give one more word to the sponsors. When we come back, race fans, we're going to see if we can try to get some green flag runs in, see how we can finish this one out. We'll be right back after this quick commercial message. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, is brought to you in part by our good friends over at Champion Power Equipment. You guys need the brand name you can trust for the tools and the right equipment for the right job. There is only one brand out there, Champion Power Equipment. Be sure to check out all their social media platforms at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Check out their website at championpowerequipment.com to get the right tools for your next project today. And right now, everyone getting fielded back in. Pace car still flying lights around, so we're not going to go to green just yet.
It should be probably going to get the one to go this time by, I do believe.
Looks like it will be indeed, my friend. You can tell these drivers want to get green flag runs in. They're past the halfway point, so there's not much else they can do about it. They just want to hope for the best and fight their way in.
And I think that 21 car's kind of made his bet at this point. He's going to try to stay out there and fight on them old tires and try to fight off all those hungry guys behind him there. Mr. Steven Gibson we're talking about there. See if he could try to hold it on, but I have a feeling them tires are eventually going to give way and these guys are going to chew him up.
I think they will indeed, and with Grant Enfinger on the outside, you know he will make him pay for trying to play this game. Coming off out of turn 3 into 4, can Steven Gibson hold down the fort for the Rusty Motorsports crew? He is the only one left to knock down the Blackstone Management guys. We go back to the green flag.
So far, so good. Clean and green going through turn 1 and 2, 2 by 2s. They head down the back straightaway. Gibson holds it on, but Grandfinger takes a look on the inside.
Enfinger still trying to make a move. He does make the move. That's it. The bump and run initiated. The 98 to the inside for the race lead.
All right, and a nice move there. That's how you do it there. That's how you get around somebody. Just knock them up enough, get them on the bottom, and move them right out of the way and keep on going. Didn't even reckon.
New leader now, the 98. Grant Enfinger takes that one over, but the Wild Child injured. No!
Oh.
And just like that, we try to talk about how good the race gets going, and then this one starts up and everyone trying to get slowed down and stop. But again, when you're going at the speeds these guys are carrying, which is over 120 miles per hour, good luck in these things to come to a rest.
Yeah, no kidding about that. Definitely not a whole lot of time to get slowed down here, as short as this track is and the distance of everything. Yeah, it's definitely hard to get slowed down.
Certainly is indeed. Here's a look at the PT Mr. Replay. Here's what happened. Gibson looked like he was holding his line, but the tires may have been just a little bit too roughed up and beat up, and he couldn't quite get the speed carried off. And even the Wild Child just kind of got caught in a bad circumstance there. And once again, man, it's just, it doesn't matter where you're at. This can happen to anybody here tonight.
Absolutely. It can happen in the front, as we've seen. It can happen in the back. It can happen in the middle. Just doesn't know. Just don't know. But you know, it just happens like that. And like we said, Gibson was on them older tires. He tried to fight as long as he could, but I think it just finally just gave out for him there at the end.
He did indeed here, but nevertheless, still trying to fight it off, trying to keep the pace, trying to keep the momentum alive, and maybe his chances if he can. But how much longer will he be able to do this, and how much longer can he keep going with it? Let's go ahead and talk down with one of our team dump and run guys. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the number 15, Jason Taylor. Taylor, my friend, this has been kind of a rough going for you guys here in the team dump and run, but you know, for the most part, you're still hanging in where usually the mid-pack guys are. What's right now your thoughts on trying to get to the front?
Trying my hardest. I shouldn't be back here. You know, I was running top 5, just biding my time and got run over. But I don't know, it's touch and go. The outside seems I can pick up a few spots there, but you got to get back to the inside. It's right now, I just wish we'd race. This going around in the caution's getting a little old.
I would agree there a little bit, but nevertheless, so here with the Remington number 15 Ford Mustang, do you think there is a chance that we can get those greens in?
I hope so. If we can all, everybody just mind your P's and Q's, we can do it. I need some green laps to get back up front. I can't do it riding around right now.
Absolutely. Well, nevertheless, Terry, appreciate your time here tonight, buddy.
All right, man. Thank you.
You could just hear the frustration in his voice there, ladies and gentlemen. You could just hear the sound in his tone. He is not happy. Neither are any of these drivers having to just keep pacing around. I know the fans at home may not be too thrilled either, but I know that the fans are in the crowd here tonight got to be probably just absolutely eating this up, trying to figure out who's going to get the advantage here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is frustrating to sit around and ride around a caution caution time and time again like this to just try to get some type of green flag run or just some type of, I guess, excitement for the fans here. And now excitement is now where we got the lights on around here. It's dark out here now.
Yeah, we had to turn the lights on eventually. Otherwise, it was just going to keep getting darker and darker. So, thankfully, under the night skies, we will see a little bit more fun with the Martinsville night race progressing on. Will we see anybody be able to knock down the truck, the Camping World Truck Series driver and Grant Infinger? We'll see as it comes up out of turn 4 to the green.
Green flag back underway. Grant Infinger's going to lead him down into turn number 1 with Craig DeJan. Again, we've got there goes Sterner around in the 14. Right in the middle.
Starner is around and once more here, and once again another caution must come out, and yikes. This is getting hard, man. This is getting harder and harder to really, I think, for these drivers to deep dive down in and just try to get something figured out. I think that's really what's frustrating them so badly here at this point. This is getting hard for them to really, for that pill to swallow.
Yeah, it is, and I can understand that frustration. Being in that spot myself a few times as well. It's just so frustrating trying to get something going, and then, you just can't never get going here. It's just caution breeds cautions, like they always say.
Well, James Marrar Harris, the number 4, just barely clips the 14. Again, there really wasn't anything he can do. He just kind of got caught in a bad spot, but, I don't know what the officials will call on that one, but honestly, I would probably say it was more or less just the Martinsville situation. I think these guys can deal with it later on, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, again, this is such a tight track. There's just not a whole lot of room to avoid trouble, to be in trouble, to be part of trouble. It's just trouble.
Well, I mean, the way you keep saying trouble, trouble around here, I presume you're trying to talk about that EC3 guy from the NXT or WWE guy, whatever he was saying all the time. What was it? Trouble, 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 or whatever?
Yeah, something like that. Trouble. Yeah, that seems like the theme of the night.
Shouldn't you know these things? You're the wrestling guy or something like that. I don't know. Maybe we've asked George Young. Maybe he can give us a little bit of insight. But hey, George, how you doing tonight, buddy?
We're hanging in there, buddy. We're hanging in there.
I was about to say, that's the only thing you can do when you have to travel down from Pennsylvania here to Virginia. What's been going through your mind right now with the NPR guys? Because it seems like mid-pack's kind of out of the question. It's just trying to get away from any of the packs.
Yeah, we're struggling. Unfortunately, we just keep getting caught up in this mess that keeps on happening. But I don't know. You never know. You never know what's going to happen here. So we'll see.
For sure there, but nevertheless, your anything you got to say for the fans at home and the 48 of the NPR guys or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, man. Hope you guys are enjoying it. It's going to be a great season. We're 3 races in here, and keep tuning in, man. It's going to be great.
For sure there. George, appreciate your time here tonight, sir.
All right, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the mid-pack racing crew, George Young and the number 48, as we are continuing to dive our drivers in and get things fielded back up into a fight here. And honestly, I'm kind of running out of drivers to talk with here tonight. I know there's still quite a few we haven't talked with, but for the most part, we've kind of hit everybody on the spot. And for the record, no, we cannot talk with Cale Gale or Grant Infinger or any of them, the BSM guys, until the end of the race, I was told. So we're going to leave them alone till the end of the race. So fans at home, if you're asking, please don't ask till later.
All right, well, we're about to get back one to green here, so we'll hopefully we'll see some more action here. Hopefully not too much action where we get under caution some more, but hopefully we get some get a nice little green flag run here toward the end.
Something I'm noticing down here though, Sparky, right now currently there's 21 spots up. The Man Beast Wayman Jr. is in the 10th spot. He's in a proverbial good area, but also Sean Bounty, we haven't talked about him all day long, but right now the number 19 is in the 8th spot. He might have a chance here to stick with these guys.
Yeah, that's a good run for the 19 as we get back under green flag racing here. That is a good run for the 19 car. Yeah, he's kept his nose clean, too. That car looks very sharp. No damage on it at all or anything.
Could be like a bounty hunter and off for the bounty here tonight as we get everybody fielded through. Looks like everything's clean for the most part. Can we get through one lap?
We're trying here. We're going to try to get through one lap here.
They're going to try there.
For a moment.
Yeah, there's still a lot of uh-ohs around here right now. Everybody's still just trying to dial these things in, trying to hope for the best. Looks like we'll get a couple more laps in here, so we'll just call the race as we see it.
All right, well, back up front, Mr. Grant Enfinger still holding the lead. Ryan Johnson has now taken over the second spot from Craig Dujanik at this point.
You heard earlier from Taz Motorsports, he's had a few wins here before anyway. He would love to add another one to his resume. Does any fan Craig Janik trying to hammer down and keep both of them in sight and on a mind?
And another driver that's made his way up into the top 10 we haven't talked too much about is Richard Hornshell on that number 90 machine. He's got himself in the 10th spot right now, trying to get further toward the front.
He does indeed here, and right now the number 90, as we go on board here with him, currently having to deal with the Maybe Man Jr. right in front of him, the number 29. Now up 22 spots, while Hornshell only up 2 from his original starting point. I gotta believe that's definitely gonna be a bit of a boost of confidence for him in team dump and run. As we saw earlier, Child's getting kind of sent to the dump and run section. But right now, he's hanging in there. He's actually getting a good of a run here back in the mid-pack of the zone. And speaking of mid-pack, the fellow that we usually see in the mid-pack, John Thacker, is in there as well.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a moment a couple of laps ago there. He kind of got a little squirrely and wiggly there, but he was able to get it straight back in there. Now he's got it in the groove there, and there's Kyle Holden, the current point leader, right there behind him as well in the 12.
And for the record, folks, no, we're not trying to make down a Thacker in any way. These guys are literally have it on the front of their car. It says MPR, Mid-Pack Racing. So, no, we're not trying to say that's where they end up. That's literally just the nickname they wanted to get and what they wanted to have. So, you can see it right there for yourself if you don't believe us. But we swear it's that is what they say, and that's what they want, as we had to take it to our drone cam for just a minute. Down across here on the front straightaway in turn 1 and turn 2, everyone's still getting a pretty good, decent amount of laps in. I think this is what these drivers were looking for all night long, and I think they finally have accomplished it as Archangel Cloud has come on board saying, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one of the drivers said earlier about having a rhythm, and so far these guys have not been able to get in that rhythm because of all the cautions. So right now this is a perfect opportunity if they can keep this green flag run for a little bit. These guys can find their rhythm, find their way around, and make some spots up here under the green flag.
Well, they're doing that, and that's here right now, but currently everybody in still a bit of a pickle, bit of a battle here to work around one another. So far, it's a matter of just trying to keep your line, hold it down, and if you can't hold it down, you go to the outside and stay out of the way. As the 42 Austin Hable had nearly lost in the corner, but he stays out of the way of Jason Taylor as the 77 of Brian Aronzo, the reigning and defending Green Mountain Grill's Fast and Fun Truck Series champion, is trying to take a 1 spot or 2 away from Hable.
Oh boy, he dove it right in there and does make it past one number 42 there as Hable there. And he's going to lose a position now also to Kevin Fisher as well in the 91.
Once you go to that outside, it's really like driving on around Talladega or Daytona with a draft partner, and then all of a sudden you lose your drafting partner and your draft line. You just get sent so far back you have no time to even react.
Yeah, and because they haven't had very many green runs, that outside line hardly has any rubber up there at all, so there's not really much grip up there. Oh no, there goes the 15 around. He got a little bit of help.
He got a little bit of help. They're wrecking right behind. It's a pile up. It's turn 4 there. Oh my.
We did have a nice little green run there for a little bit. So
yeah, we got that in, but I mean, right now we're going to have about 25, 22 laps left to go when we get back to the green flag. I got to believe, though, that every time we bring something up about Kyle Holden, it seems like we just keep giving him the old broadcaster curse. I think, Marky, it's about time we take away your little driver's notes on the points list and leave Kyle alone. I think he's getting the shaft here tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think so. The poor fella. Already, twice we've mentioned him already, and not long after he ends up in trouble. So I guess we better just leave him alone for the rest of the night and see what he can do.
Well, right now, if you guys are wondering what happened there, and to start this whole mess up, we'll take a look at the PT Instant replay for Jason Taylor. We're going to use our drone cam for this one, not the chopper cam. This is the drone cam, and here's what happened. Lorenzo drives it in, and I think he was trying to swing it to the inside, but did not quite go the way you would expect, and everybody else gets caught off guard. Man,
gave him just the old heave-ho there in the corner, and that was all it took.
All it took, and a little bit, then some. Sorry for the technical difficulty screen there, guys. That's just our way of getting the streams cleared up a little bit. That's why we have that there.
I guess the stream got so excited about that green run, it had a little conniption fit when the caution came out.
Well, let's just say it was definitely excited to see that we were having a good time and a good show there, and then I think unfortunately the Glitchcraft Gremlins were like, nah, we're not done with it yet. We got to mess with you a little bit more.
You don't think them NPR guys had anything to do with that, did they?
I highly doubt it.
I highly doubt it either.
The only thing they have to deal with is basically just going in and taking control of my malware, my Foxware around here when it comes to my PC. They seem to love playing that video for some reason. I told them if you were going to do it, you're only doing it on the intros. You're not doing it in the actual race unless there was absolutely nothing going on, which there is definitely a lot going on. Even just going on right now, pacing around the laps. These guys are just trying to get cornered in. They're trying to get controlled up and relaxed a little bit before they even get back to the green. That's how crazy things are right now for these guys.
Yeah, and then they're trying to get calmed down, and then you get to that restart, you get that green flag out there, and I've seen a couple guys just literally push each other down the straightaway trying to get going here. And then it just gets wild and crazy.
It does indeed, but nevertheless, with still a little bit more racing to be had, a little bit more to go. Can any of these drivers start to bring the cars under control and back to life? There's still so much at bay here.
And we're completing lap number 107 at this point, and I know the front runners, at least, mainly those guys up in the top 5, they've been pretty patient with themselves so far, but now you're getting down toward it. How much longer do you have to wait before you have to make that bump and run move, possibly on Enfinger or on Johnson or Jazanik, any of those guys?
Well, we talked to Janzik earlier about that. He said he's going to try to run the more clean route, which is very difficult to do in Martinsville, but we have seen it before here where it is very possible. It just can be very much more difficult to try to knock down Grant Enfinger here. The 98 now brings it on in. We've got the green flag back on out.
Back on out indeed as we head coming off turn 2 down the back straightaway. Enfinger will lead him down. Johnson will hold second. Jazanik looks like he has dropped back to 4th, and Lawrence is now up into 3rd.
They are indeed, except for the little wrecked around. Wilcox, that is the number 53, has spun it in the liquid death machine.
And caution will come out yet again.
I think the hard part right now, what these guys are struggling with, is just trying to get these cars to take a step back already and just kind of lay loose for a minute. I think that's really the biggest problem. Everyone is really so tempted to make those passes, make those runs. They keep forgetting that they also still have some laps to go around with, and looks like Wilcox was braking pretty hard there, and unfortunately Sheldon Pearson just wasn't in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just like these guys are just a couple you heard from some of the other drivers earlier, just no patience or being a little too aggressive here. They're trying to get as many spots as they can, and then when you're trying to go in the corner and you try to figure out where that braking zone is and what the other guy's braking zone is, and you brake a little later, you brake a little earlier, and the next thing you know, you get into somebody, and then problems like this happen.
Certainly indeed. Here now, just heads up, folks, we're not going to bring really any more drivers into tonight's action. Number 1, because we got most of them already, and number 2, for how late we are into the race. Let's just say it'd probably be better to leave them alone so we're not trying to give them any ideas on the broadcast or curse. So apologies for anyone that we may have missed out, but if you look at the lap count and where we're at right now, I think you can probably guess why we say that.
Yeah, now I know they run around here mid-19 to 22nd laps here. I'm looking at the timer here too. Got roughly about 6 minutes left here. I'm not sure. Hopefully we can get all these laps in before that timer runs out.
Timer runs out. What do we got time-wise?
Oh, That looks like I'm having a little technical issue. That is my fault. The time is just fine. We want to get all the laps in without the time here. That's just a little gremlin on my side over here.
Don't worry, folks. Trust me. I know I deal with Sparky on a lot of occasions. Unfortunately, the good news is that he still has all his lug nuts kind of attached to his car under the motor under his brain. But unfortunately, sometimes his PC isn't exactly tied down, bolted down the way it should be. So sometimes you have parts flying off as quickly as his mouth runs off.
That's absolutely true. That's okay. I went ahead and found my lug nuts and put them back on. We're all good to go now.
By the way, just a little break in the fourth wall here real quick, folks. iRacing right now does have the Coca-Cola Series up right now at Talladega, and one of the guys that we actually got to personally talk to and get to know a little bit, Nick Oppinger, is right now in the race lead. So, Nick, if you're ever seeing this or listening back, my friend, it's good to see you back in the fight and back in the hunt. Best of luck trying to win this one out, buddy.
Well, we're about ready to get back to it here at Martinsville. 1 to green this time by. We'll get that pace car back in here. We're going to rack them up, and we're going to try this again here at lap 113.
Here we go again, back to the action. Right now, Enfinger is showing why he is one of the top tier drivers to knock down on the list and knocking them down into the field. Here we go, back to the corners once more, and Johnson will try to knock him down.
And got a little wild and woolly in the back there for just a moment with the 15 car there, just a slight bit, but everybody keeps it straight, no caution, we stay green.
Tony Westcott coming on board saying a little go Enfinger here tonight. Arch saying let's see if that 98 holds tough. He appears to be the man tonight. Kenneth Crawford saying PC problems down there. Well, that's your end, not me, Sparky.
Definitely some problems on that end, but the problems have been resolved, and it looks like we're trying to get things resolved in this race.
I think they want to get this race finished up and cleaned out of the building right now. Sean Bounty, the number 19. Man, I don't know how on earth he's been able to keep this thing as clean as he has, but the car looks pretty good, and he's early in the ninth place spot, and of all things, that's got to be impressive at all. It gets just to even stay with these guys, even considering that they are on the circuit they've been and the way the racing has been tonight.
Yeah, sometimes oh wow, 81 got a little crazy there for a moment. Yeah, definitely in his case, he's kept the car, kept the fenders all on it, kept it clean. You know, it seems like he's had a pretty clean race. He may not be the fastest car out there, but he's definitely looks like he's the cleanest car out there. And sometimes that's all you need to do to survive a race like this.
Sometimes it is indeed. I know they said earlier on the aerodynamics aren't really much of a factor when it comes to short track racing, but what I will say though is you still got to watch how much those tires are getting affected by the damage that is presented onto the car. I mean, we've seen it before where Dale Earnhardt Jr. was when he ran around here. He's always the guy I come back to. He had a very badly damaged car from the start, but the thing is that even though he had that damage, he was still able to muster up a top 5, top 4 finish, I believe, that night, because he was able to keep the wheel bearing and the wheels all in check and everything clear. That was one of the biggest things that really just shows you what short track racing can do. If you get damage on those tires that are in the car, it's almost like you're basically just shredding your rubber without being on the track.
Absolutely, yeah. As long as you don't damage the internal parts of the car, you're still able to have the majority of the parts on the car there. You know, the wheels, the axles, everything like that. I mean, fenders, body damage, big deal. You can run them, beat them up, do whatever. As long as you don't damage anything major, you're going to be all right.
Westcott on the Facebook Live end saying, I smell a bump and run coming, and I would definitely do indeed, but I don't think you're going to see it till the last couple of laps. I think that's when you'll see it finally start to pop its head up again. But either way, if you guys are watching on Facebook Live right now, first off, thank you so much, and we hope you like and follow us up here to catch all the latest action in racing when it go live. But also on our YouTube end, be sure to head over there and catch all the action when it pops up. These drivers do not do this for nothing. They want to hear some support and hear your love from them as well.
All right, and here we are, Enfinger still with the lead at the moment. We got roughly about 7 laps to go. We're on lap number 123, so maybe this, nope, here comes the caution out.
Kyle Holden, the number 12 on the front straightaway, is wrecked out, unfortunately. Trouble down there for him and the crew, and that's probably the worst timing, if you ask me, if you're Enfinger or Johnson, because they had a chance of possibly getting something going here. I couldn't tell you what happened here, except for we're just going to need to take a look at the PT Mr. replay again.
Trust me, I did not mention the 12 car's name this time.
No,
Not my fault this
you're
time.
not, you're not on the hitman's list yet anymore. But this is still what happened to the 12. It goes up high here, and unfortunately for Holden, he just literally got like the worst luck ever, just keeping that thing online. The rear end slims out, and he actually just barely catches the number 14. That was Dan the Man Starner that got caught up in that one. We'll take a look at his end as well here and just what he suffered through. Unfortunately, he caught a really bad break here, to say the least. We'll take a look from our rear chase cam here. This is the drone cam kind of thrown up in somewhere else. You can see like almost the smallest little tap in the world, just barely enough though, and it catches the 14 off guard. What a tough break for him and that crew, man. I know Highline Racing right now is not too happy with themselves or really anything that's gone down on the track, but again, that's just kind of how the racing ordeal works around here.
Yeah, I think some of these guys, will be glad when they see that checkered flag, because they'll just be happy that this race is over and they'll be ready to get on to the next one.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, I think they'll probably be ready for the next one, which for those fans home wondering right now where we're going to go next, we will be heading off next week to Nashville Super Speedway. And if you really wanted a track that's going to test some drivers, we're going to see Nashville Super Speedway twice on our show. Yes, Pedal the Metal goes there Sunday night, and then Tuesday night will be Champion Power Equipment night. And the last time we were there, Sparky, I'm going to tell you something right now. That was a bit of a race and a rough shot where a little drama was mixed in between because James Marauder Harris had that one locked up, but Jameson Miller managed to catch up to him and put a little bumper to him. Obviously, Miller tonight not with us. He ended up leaving for the race. He'll be back though with Super Speedway. But Harris and him, really on the last couple laps, the bump and run was successful in 3 and 4. And Harris said point blank, I'll remember that, my friend. And he certainly did. I think that could make for a great little battle coming up next week. I think that'll definitely be a little bit of a showcase we're going to have to watch out for.
Absolutely, especially at that racetrack, which is basically they call it Super Speedway. It looks like a speedway, but it almost drives almost like a short track because of how much you got to brake in the corners there. So yet another one where patience is going to be key, and I definitely will see a good battle there at Nashville next week.
Tire saving will be the biggest factor there as we're about to initiate green, white, checkered number 1.
All right, green, white, check number 1.
For Grant Enfinger right now, this is the keys to victory. Do not let up on the start. Get the start and go. Just get going before Johnson can catch you on the outside. For Jantic and Gale, it's all about timing. Wait for the 98 to go. Wait for the 38 to give you an opening. And just strike while the iron's hot. They'll come out of turn 4 looking for the start. Enfinger got a great start there. Johnson tried to match him. Did not work. To the green flag they go.
Here we go down into turn number 1.
Oh, look out down there. We got a big wreck there. Childs gets sent to the upper room and got sent out of the ballpark. Oh, my.
Well, that's attempt number 1.
Well, we have one more. Well, we at least have 2 more attempts coming up, but I got to believe the 9 was not expecting to have to even get through 1 attempt, much less 2. We're just going to look at it. Watch this. Got a pretty decent little start. Everyone looks good. And that 36, that 35, man, he just got everybody in there. Looked like the 9 kind of dived in there, and unfortunately the 35 just couldn't back it down. That was Tyler Meeks, unfortunately, getting into that one. Wow. But like we said though, folks, it's just, that's how Martinsville can be sometimes. It can be a cruel mistress, and sometimes it can be your best friend. It's kind of like Talladega or Daytona. That's why a lot of people out there absolutely love to see the short track racing. They want to see the short track racing because it's all bump and running. It's all contact. But you can't just run away from one another and think you can get away with it. Unlike, with Daytona and Talladega where the speeds are high and, the drafting really can make for great passes, that's short tracks is really what it's all about on that end too. And that's why a lot of folks out there commend and, recommend always seeing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. For Daytona, Talladega, you're pretty much relying on somebody else to get you up near the front most of the time. You're sitting in the draft, and then you got to try to make, a move. Here at Martinsville, it's more or less, about breaking points. It's more of a, rhythm track like we heard earlier. It's just basically kind of like a driver's track. It's just whoever can get in the corner the best and get off the corner the best here.
Archangel Cloud making a good point in the chat here. Right now, Gale has now moved up into the 3rd place spot, which means he has inside row choice. And if I'm Craig Standing from Janzik, I would not be too thrilled about that, knowing we're about to perform a green-white checker number 1 of 2s here.
Yeah, what a charge by Gale. Remember, he got spun out earlier and had to start all the way in the back of the 20s, and he has made a heck of a charge to come up through the field and now sits in the 3rd position.
Which one of these drivers will be able to just master the nerves and stay away from trouble? Grant Enfinger looks to be that one, but Johnson, you heard him earlier, he has got experience in winning here, and he would love to add another one to his resume for Taz Motorsports.
I think these top guys are going to be all right. I think if there's a bump and run, it's going to be clean with these guys up front because they've been pretty patient with each other. It's them guys about 10th or back that I'm a little bit worried about at this point.
The field is set. The drivers are ready to go, and well, I can't say enough, but we're ready to go as well.
Absolutely, we're back in the back straightaway. Lights are out on the pace car here. Enfinger is your leader. Ryan Johnson in 2nd, Cale Gale in 3rd, Craig Jazanik in 4th, and the Mullet Man is in 5th. We're going to see who's going to do it this time as we're about ready to go back to green.
Which one of these drivers can win this race out, finish out the best of intentions? We find out now as we go to the green flag, and Gale is already making Johnson pay for being on the outside. He's going straight for the inside run.
Wow, and a good start by Enfinger, too. He got off that start really well. Here comes Gale the inside.
Oh, Johnson got the bump! No! Into the wall he goes. He got cracked in, but the white flag's going to fly out. Oh, no, they got a yellow. Yellow is out.
I believe, yeah, it looked like that yellow just came out right before the leader took the white.
That is got to be infuriating for Enfinger, but he at least knows there's only one more green-white checkered attempt that he has to get through. The second one coming up, but folks, what the heck happened here? We couldn't tell you for sure. We only know I think the number 5 may have got something started with that, and it looks like it is in this case. Here's another look at the replay. Came right in. Oh, look at this. Garth Snyder just tags the 5 in badly, and Sheldon Pearson gets whipped around and smacked it down. As someone might have told me one day, he layeth the smack downeth on him, he say. That was a hard little wreck, though. That was bad, man. Let's take a look at one more angle here. You know, when he was coming in through 3 and 4, look, you know, the way Garth kind of came in, that reminded me a lot of kind of how Harvick was when he got into Kyle Busch here just about a year ago. But it was instead out of 4, it was into 3. I know it doesn't look like Snyder was trying to do it on purpose, but that was still a very bad circumstance and a very bad wreck to say the least. A big hit there on his end.
And very unfortunate incident. Yeah, that does kind of remind you of that from last year when the Harvick and Busch incident there as well. Yeah, definitely looked very similar to that.
Now we are coming to the line. We're coming to the end here. This is going to get maddening. It's going to get crazy.
Yeah, it is now that Cale Gale has moved into the 2nd spot. Unfortunately for Ryan Johnson, it looks like he fell all the way back to 6 after that little bit of a love tap that he got there in the corner. And we'll see if Gale what he can do with Enfinger here.
Comment section right now asking about thoughts on the pink nets for these guys in October, as well as also the Roval race. My thoughts on that are, it's an absolute honor to see and great to see the drivers being able to support a great cause and try to help end this disastrous disease that we have with cancer. But I don't know about these guys here in Fast and Fun Shooting Power Equipment. going to be putting on the pink nets, unfortunately. I am not for sure on that. You'll have to ask them a little later on. I think they just really are just now figuring this out.
Well, you know, if I was out there in that car, you know, I'd be rocking that pink.
You definitely rock. You rock a lot. You rock a lot of pink as is in general, but we're gonna talk about that a little later on because now this is their last chance. Either do or don't. There are no two ways about it.
Yep, this is it. This is for all those. No more green, white checkers, no nothing. It's race to the checkers at this point. Enfinger and Gale. Here we go.
Enfinger's
Getting
going
ready
the
for the green.
outside. I'm not sure if I agree with that strategy there. We'll see if it works though. Off to the green we go.
Down into turn one, Enfinger got a good jump on the start there over Gale. We'll see how this comes about as they come down the back straightaway.
They are clear through 1 and 2. Blaster Master Robert Lawrence is the only one left that can knock down Blackstone Management's team here. White flag this time by. We're going to the white. This one finishes the race.
Here we go, down into turn one, coming off of turn two. Enfinger with the lead. Gale in second. Mullet Man in third, down the back straightaway they come.
Coming through 3 into 4 this time by. Checker flags are out. Grant Enfinger will win in the 98 Champion Power Equipment Machine in Martinsville.
All right, yep, Enfinger will win the race. Gale will come home in second. Mullet Man came home in third. Craig Duzanik in fourth. And Ryan Johnson was able to get back into the top 5 and finish it out up there in the 5th spot.
Yeah, Grant Enfinger hasn't won in a while here on Pete Harrison TV, but the 98 certainly seemed to have this thing dialed in all the way tonight, and a strong showing for him and his team in that Champion Power Equipment Machine. Rockets and brings himself a nice victory and a half, and what a show, what a race for him and his crew to finally get that win off his back after so long of waiting for it.
Absolutely, especially at a tough racetrack like this was, with a tough night with all them cautions, the green, white checkers, and still able for him to bring it on home and win the race. And great job by Grant Enfinger tonight.
All right, my friend Sparky, I'll let you do the 10. I'll let you do 11 through 20. I'll do the first 10 here. Let's talk about the race results here presented by Champion Power Equipment here tonight. Grant Enfinger, long awaiting this one and managing to hold off as Gale, a strong showing from him, really had to get working his way back to the front. Robert Lawrence coming away third, the only one not named Blackstone Management to hang in this one. Fourth being Grand Jantic. Fifth going to Ryan Johnson. Sixth to Nathan Meyer. Seventh to the Murata James Harris. Eighth to Sean Boundy. How about that? Literally one of the cleanest cars out there. Survives to the end. Ninth to Tyler Meeks, and Eli the Wild Child, despite all the troubles, manages to rock his way in for a top 10.
All right, and the rest of the top 20 at this point. Kevin Kashark brings it home in 11th. William Mann Jr. in 12th. Jason Taylor bringing it home in 13th. Stephen Clegg in 14th. Ryan Lozano will end up in the 15th spot. Yeah, John Thacker got in that mid-pack there. He ends up 16th. Christian Wilcox in 17th. Michael Davis in 18th. Georgie Young will finish in the 19th spot, and Austin Hable will round out our field here in the number 42 car, finishing in 20th.
By 20th, the rest of your field of drivers now folded in. Don't worry about that bottom end there. That's just race control currently working with everybody here. But nevertheless, race fans, that has been a solid performance and a solid race here tonight. And whew, that was wild as can be. So let's get this nightcap finished off. Let's talk with our drivers here. We'll start it up, of course, with Oval Sim Performance and the Mullet Man himself, Robert Lawrence, the number 34. Robert, what a showing here from you and the crew here tonight, managing to hang tough to the very end. Got to definitely mean a lot to you and your friends and family tonight.
It was such a chaotic race. I know it was a lot of cautions, probably kind of on the boring side, but I'm glad anyone that tuned in hopefully enjoyed themselves. It was great. Stayed top 5, top 10 all night long, and hung tough. Grant and Cale were obviously the best cars out there. Craig probably was right there with them, and it was a fun race.
It certainly was indeed, man. You had a lot going on, a lot of wild madness in between, some great racing to go with it. Tell me, is there anything else you could have done here tonight? Would you have tried to do anything else a little differently with this one?
Right there at the end, they got staggered a little bit. I wish I would have a little closer to Grant on that start. I maybe could have given the old bump and run for the win, but things happen. Wasn't on top of the ball and let that one kind of slip through, and still came home with a podium. Great team points, third, fourth, and sixth. So we're working on that and having fun.
For sure there. But nevertheless, Robert, appreciate your time here tonight, my man. Congratulations on that third place finish. It's great to see you back here in the podium positions.
Thank you very much. Shout out to Blaster and Champion for being on the car.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the Blaster Master himself, the Only Man, Robert Lawrence. All right, we'll go ahead and see if we can talk with our other drivers here real quick. See if Cale Gale would like to talk with us here. Cale, you got a copy down there, sir?
Yeah, I got you guys.
All right, hey man, congratulations on a second place finish here tonight in Martinsville, and a bit of a rocky one, man. You had to literally work from the outhouse a couple times, and you managed to get back up there and fight it out with Grant. What was it like having to face it with your own teammate tonight, bud?
Yeah, it was one of those deals. We kind of felt like we would be back in traffic a little bit. It got turned right there on a restart, just Martinsville short track racing, and kept fighting and ended up second there at the end. So it was a fun race.
It certainly was fun. A lot of great action to call here tonight. But, Cale, I got to ask you as we're signing off here tonight, anybody want to thank for this one?
Yeah, congratulations to Grant and everyone over at BSM Racing. It was an exciting night, and appreciate you guys doing the broadcast, and we had a lot of fun. Congratulations to the 98 car.
Had a lot of fun calling it as well here tonight. Cale, congratulations. Good to see you back here in the podium position, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cale Gale, your second place finisher here tonight. And it looks like now we'll go ahead and have a quick word here with Grant Enfinger if he wishes to. We'll see if he wants to here real quick. We'll give him a little shout out here. Grant, you want to have a you want to talk with us here real quick, sir?
Sure. Whatever y'all want to do.
Yeah, we just thought we'd bring you in here. You are the race winner here tonight. So we just want to double check, make sure you guys are cool with it. But nevertheless, man, you won here tonight at Martinsville Speedway, and congratulations on that. Definitely a long road considering everything you guys had to do down there at Blackstone Management.
Yeah, definitely. Race had a lot of yellows, so a lot of restarts and all that. But we were pretty decent the whole time. I feel like Cale was probably the class of the field, and then he had some issues, so I was there to take advantage of it.
You certainly were indeed, and managing to walk away with that one and hold back the field from taking you down here. And is there anybody you want to thank here tonight for this race winner in Martinsville, sir?
Man, thank everybody at Champion Power Equipment and everybody for coming out and enjoying this. This has been fun.
It has indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Grant Enfinger in the 98, your race winner here tonight at Martinsville. Congratulations again, sir.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up here tonight. We have seen it all. We have seen the madness. We've seen the chaos. And, Dustin, it's time to call it a night, my friend. But not without saying a quick word to our good friends over at Champion Power Equipment. Thank you again to them for helping, sponsoring, and supporting up the show for these guys, the Fast Fun Cup Series. They can't thank you enough, and we can't thank you enough for your support. To the fans at home that tuned into this one, thank you so much for coming on by. Like and follow us up here on Facebook so you don't miss any action, any info. Head over to our Twitter and Instagram handles as well. You'll catch all the action and latest news and products, as well as our YouTube. Subscribe there so you only see the best and the brightest of our races here. All races here on Facebook Live go to YouTube. So if you missed something, don't worry. We got it on YouTube. You can watch it there to see it all. Sparky, anything left you have to say before we sign her off tonight?
Well, that was quite a, I guess you'd say, quite a typical Martinsville race. Congratulations to Grant Enfinger on the win, and a couple good shout-outs there to Cale Gale coming from the back, finishing second, and also for Sean Bounty tonight there in that 19 car. He kept a clean race for him all race long, brought it home an 8th spot. Good job for him tonight.
Absolutely indeed. Well, nevertheless here, my friend, what a night it was and what a great showing. Race fans, the next time we join you, well, apparently we're not done with short track racing yet. We're going to go down to Bristol Motor Speedway. RTC awaits their Pro Series, their next race up. But from all of us here at PT Race TV, with that in mind as well, check out Bark River Speedway's race coming up tomorrow night as well. So doubleheader coming your way. We'll see you then. For now, please be safe. God bless. Take care. We love you guys from the bottom of our hearts. See you next time when the green flag flies.